This is Wrestle MSX and welcome to the Musings of Raw and SmackDown, where we'll be taking a look at this past week in WWE.
Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And we'll have a general look at everything. We won't sort of dig down on everything. I don't think everything needs to be spoken about. So if we don't speak about it, it's probably because it's not that important.
Yeah.
Or we've actually generally forgot that we don't know what's happened. Anyway, we'll start with SmackDown. And as alluded to last week, go check it out if you haven't. I suggested that there'd be a fatal four-way for the US belt. Men's, that is.
You did, yeah.
LA Knight, Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Now, with Fatu interfering in the US title match on SmackDown, and then later saying to Solo he's bringing the US title back to the family, only strengthens what I've suggested for him being involved in it at least.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how they're going to get Solo in the match, but you see, it could just be a triple threat.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out for a fatal four-way at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that would be good.
And it
That'd be
also-
better of the two.
And it also gives you that interaction between, which has been played with,
Yeah.
of Solo against Jacob. And they are in direct competition, but they're not in direct competition because even though if it was a fatal four-way and they were both in it for the belt, they don't have to fight one another to start with. You can have the usual, everybody's fighting, and then Strowman gets chucked out, LA Knight gets chucked out, and then you have with Solo and Fatu.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing the Simone Spike here. And then those two, and then this is where those two clash.
Yeah.
So
Or they're about to, and then...
somebody comes back in,
Yeah.
but you
There'll
heard
be
it,
at
you
least
heard
a
it here
standoff.
first, fatal four-way.
And then we had the big talking point from SmackDown.
Oh yes.
The Secret Hervis beating Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
That was massive.
I do jest.
What?
Punk, Reigns and Rollins signing the contract for WrestleMania. Obviously that was the big one. And then finding out that Punk main eventing is not the favour.
Well, we would have thunk it.
I mean, obviously it wasn't the favour anyway.
No,
because
it's not a favour.
those three, they're always going to be the main event. The star power of one alone is enough to close the show. Never mind all three of them. They have
exactly.
to.
They are definitely the top five, in the top five
Yeah, easy.
names.
But then it also begs the question, what is the favour?
Nice. It's got to be a title shot, hasn't it?
But he's not got the title.
Well, no, but it could be a title.
It's got to be, yeah, you'd have thought it's got to be to do with
Of
getting a
course it
title
is.
shot. Whether it's against the winner of Cena and Rhodes, whether it's to be in the Cena Rhodes match, night 2,
Oof, God,
if they do have night 2.
If he pulled that off, that's ridiculous.
I don't know, but would Heyman be able to do that as well? Does he have them?
Does he have that
strings?
power? Oh, I think he has some strings to pull.
Yeah, he definitely does them too.
Then that would make it a triple threat.
Yeah.
And that would be a favour and a half to get into that match.
No.
Bottom line is, it's a title opportunity somewhere in the future.
Somewhere, yeah.
There's no question about that. I think that was kind of it for SmackDown, really. I don't feel there was a great deal. I mean, there were obviously matches, but there was nothing outstanding that was like, well, that's amazing.
The other thing with kind of that, well, I won't go too much into it, but...
It's okay, you're amongst friends. And the tens and tens of fans.
Yeah, the 2 fans. That says.
No, I'm not a fan. Just yourself.
Is Heyman going to turn on Reigns? Because I mean, obviously he's the wise man of Roman Reigns, but then obviously he's got the connection with Punk.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And when Punk was saying things and he's like, no.
Yeah, I agree, but I think if Heyman turns on,
So obviously it's like it's showing that they're talking.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously he's still got affection for him with the way that he was.
Yeah,
Because he told him that
seems to have.
he was going to main event WrestleMania. So it's is the favour going to play into Punk getting Heyman back or something like that?
Well, we'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
Won't we? I don't know, because he seems to be talking to Heyman anyway, so why does he necessarily need to have Heyman in his corner?
Yeah.
I mean, Heyman never really helps with anything anyway. It's not like he's sliding a chair in.
Yeah. Pulls the strings.
Anyway, enough of that. Raw this past Monday was brutal. I mean, not only was Cena dispatched verbally by Rhodes, but Jimmy was, well, butchered, to say the least, by Gunther. And for Gunther to taste Jimmy's blood as well, I mean, he did spit it out. That is next level badassery. I mean, I'm not a fan of Gunther.
No,
I just,
not
I'm
particularly.
not, no, I'm not. I don't dislike him, but his character right now is just on point.
Yeah.
He's such a fantastic heel.
I like that it's actually added more to that
Yes.
between him and Joe.
Well,
because it was kind of like nothing was really happening. It was just like,
oh, I'm going to get
oh,
you.
I'm going to beat you. Oh, no, you're not.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy slapped him.
This has added another level, a layer rather to it.
Yes, which I like, which is it needed it.
It needed it.
Like Cena Rhodes needed that bit more.
Interaction on Raw.
Yeah.
In our review, go and watch it.
They needed that as well. Just to add
that little more.
sauce to
the thing is, though, because I think, you see this, and then this makes me think that Gunther will retain because he's just too good at the character he's playing. He loses it. Okay, yeah, good for Jay. No problem with that. If he wins, he wins. But if he loses, he loses. But Gunther's just too good.
Yeah.
Isn't he, at what he does? And then, like the US belt on SmackDown, this is my thoughts again, I think the IC belt is warming up for a fatal four-way as well.
You and your fatal
I do love a fatal four. Oh well, he gets everybody in, doesn't he? Gets everybody in. You've got 2 nights to cover. So, Breaker has the belt. Yeah?
Yes, I think he does, yeah.
Penta had a match for the title, but it got DQ'd. So I suppose he's due another shot because he's got to be like, hey, come on, Braun, that's not fair, I need another shot. But on Raw, though, Balor said he was going to see Adam Pearce about a shot at the Intercontinental belt. But then he disappeared, and then Liv Morgan, wrestling's MVP right now, go check out our short which backs this up, link in the description, also heads off to speak with Adam Pearce about giving Dirty Dom an IC title shot. So, like the US title, I can see this becoming a fatal four at WrestleMania. Balor, Breaker, Dirty Dom, and Penta. Because Penta's due one.
Yes.
Balor's thinks he's due one.
Yeah, yeah.
And Liv's putting forward Dom. So, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I mean,
it would be good.
Yeah, because I think if it's just Penta and Braun, yeah, it's okay. But we see one-on-one matches all the time.
Yeah.
We want to see, and he's defended against single people before. So when you get to WrestleMania, you raise the stakes because it's the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah.
All 4. Everybody's at Mania. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, everybody gets a little spot and
exactly.
Maybe a new champ. But you don't, obviously, well, it's hard to know who's going to win. So when it's one-on-one, you kind of like...
Yeah, Dom, that'd be
It is
funny.
literally one or the other, obviously.
Dom would be funny.
But yeah, when you've got like a triple threat or fatal four-way, it's that
just a bit more excitement.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Because anyone could win.
I mean, talking of triple threats, nice link not in the description. Rhea against EO with Belair as the ref.
Oh God, yeah.
Was ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, there was nothing wrong with the wrestling, but at times it was just... I mean, Ripley headbutting Sky out the air, just getting a little bit real for a second, was absurd. I mean, come on, you ain't heading somebody out the air and stopping them flying at you. Are you?
I mean,
a full-grown person, coming at you, just head them. Oh, stopped in mid-air. I mean, Sky's build between 119 and 121 pounds. So, even if we take her at a lightest weight of 119 pounds, which is 54 kilos, or 8 stone 9 pounds, you ain't stopping that with your head. I mean, you go try it. It's about the weight of a 13-year-old child, give or take. So get a 13-year-old child, throw it in the air, and then headbutt it to see if you can actually... Now, this is actually taking a funny turn. Let's just leave that. It's gone a bit weird now, so let's move on. But staying with this match, Rhea Ripley booting Belair out the ring.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
and then covering Io for a pin when she just booted the ref to the outside. Why would you cover your opponent when you know you just booted the ref to the outside and she saw what she did? You know, and there's no point in covering because you've got no one to count.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it was a spot.
Yeah, so obviously,
I get
crowd could count.
Yes, I get we're trying to convey that Ripley covered Io for 3 and should therefore be the champion right now. But the fact Rhea saw who she was kicking, the ref, and then proceeded to cover Sky anyway, was absolutely nonsense. I know you guys are saying, I know you have to suspend your disbelief.
Yes.
But come on. I've just booted the ref out of the ring, and now I'm gonna.
And I saw myself do it.
And I saw her do it. We watched it back. Her hair wasn't in the way. It wasn't a blind kick. She booted Belair out of the ring. I can't remember what she did. Probably riptide on Io. Well, she did something to Io, and then she covered her. And then she's like, "Oh, why isn't the ref counting? Because you just booted her out." It's just a little bit.
A little lie down.
Ah, dear. And then just to wind this up, so it's a bit of a shorter one today. I want to speak about the new Immortal Moments section of the Hall of Fame. Yeah, personally, I think this is a great idea. Not only for the wrestlers, but for the fans. I mean, we take Stone Cold Steve Austin, seeing as it's one of his matches that's been inducted first. Now, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2009. And for him, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't in a tag team. Yes, there was the power trip, but keeping it real, he wasn't in a tag team as in for a long time
that
won multiple titles
that'd be worthy of
and kept coming back and winning more and so on and so forth. So him being inducted just once, because he's up there in contention to be a GOAT of wrestling.
Yeah.
So for him to be inducted once doesn't seem good enough for who he is or what he did. So to bring matches or moments in which are deemed immortal is a great idea. Whether further down the road we'll see actual moments rather than matches is to be seen. I mean, there's the slam that was heard around the world. HBK's entrance on the zip wire at WrestleMania 12. It doesn't matter who he wrestled. It doesn't matter what happened. You just know he's on that zip wire. Any Taker entrance.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Cena's entrance at WrestleMania 25 when you had all those Cenas.
All the Cenas.
It's just don't know what. I can't remember what it was. I'm not interested in the result. I'm sure you could Google it, but I just remember all them Cenas and he's running down.
Yeah.
All iconic moments.
Yeah.
As the section implies, but more than likely it will just be matches. I think it does say immortal moments. But I think it will be matches. But as I say, and it's also good for the fans, as I mentioned, because it allows fans to see these legendary superstars once again in the flesh, in a wrestling capacity. I mean, as I say, Austin's already been inducted as a standalone star.
Yeah.
So there's no real reason to put him in the Hall of Fame again. So unless you were there in 2009, you ain't seen him again, are you really? Which is a shame. This, though, brings him back, allowing new fans to see him, and furthermore, can ultimately keep bringing wrestlers back forever and a day. So it's no longer a one and done thing.
Or one and then he was in a tag team or anything like that.
Well, that's what I mean.
You said Triple H before.
Yeah, Triple H. So he's obviously going in this year as a standalone star. He's already been, DX have already been inducted. So obviously he was part of that group. So if you're just kind of a standalone star, you're only ever going to put in once.
Kind of thing, yeah.
If you're in a tag team, just a tag team, you're only going to go in once.
Only going to go in once, yeah.
Whereas if you're in a fantastic match, as it seems, then there's now this chance to keep being brought back and back and back, which is better than, as I say, Austin. He's in once. He never really needs to go in again because he wasn't in a great tag team. He was never part of a faction or a massive group. It was just him.
Yeah.
Which is nothing wrong with that, but he's never going to go in again. And the fact that these stars, Bret and Stone Cold, are going to be at the Hall of Fame, that's amazing for the fans because they want to see these. These are two of the best that's ever been.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
isn't it?
I like it. It's.
I mean, like Cena, we take him. Obviously, he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame one day, possibly next year. Considering
when he's retired,
this is his last year, possibly next year. But then that's it. He was never part. I mean, I'm not saying he's not tagged, because he has tagged with Shawn Michaels, and I think they had the titles, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
But that team's not going to go in, is it? Shawn Michaels and Cena?
No.
They'll get that tag team into the Hall of Fame. What? It's never going to happen, so he'll only ever go in once.
Yeah.
But with the Immortal moments,
You could easily...
he could go in multiple times.
Yeah.
Couldn't he? More
I think
times than
obviously-
his 6 moves of doom.
With it being that match at WrestleMania, say the younger fans wouldn't have seen that. They may know bits,
Yeah,
but then
yeah,
that
you
might
don't
encourage
really
people to then like
Go back
and watch
trawl
things
through
like
the
that.
history and see.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an iconic match where he obviously passed out and he didn't tap out. Obviously, Austin Hitman were on about. Then that's So whether it's, I think they will put moments in, because I say there's some moments. I mean, I've not seen the match between Hogan and Andre. All you know is that it's the slam heard around the world, and that's all you really need to know. I mean, the match might have been poor. You might have seen it. You let us know if you think it was good or not. But it might have been a poor match. But that one moment, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
So I think things like that. I mean, and then you can put Hogan in again.
I don't know if
He's definitely in twice. I think he's in with NWO, and he must be in it. Obviously, he's in on his own.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah.
Whether he's in with the was it Mega Powers? With that's going back a bit.
No, he's going back a bit.
With Macho Man. I'm not doing an impression. Anyway, disagree? Then let us know in the comments down below.
Go check out our review of Raw from Monday or last week's Musings,
which was quite interesting. Thank you again for watching,
and we'll see you Saturday for our look at SmackDown.